In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin and Ethereum price and how it's positive and upwards for today. And I want to dive into this article posted by Omkar Godbol saying BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF snap 71-day inflow streak, data shows. And some news that came out about the Japanese yen tumbling, which may be signaling a currency turmoil, and how this may be positive for the Bitcoin and crypto price overall. And if you're interested about any of this or want to learn more about it, then I suggest that you definitely stick around. Hello and good evening out there. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Josh, and this is the CryptoBiz channel, where we discuss all things Bitcoin and crypto related news. Now let's jump into it. Taking a look here overall, looks like the current crypto market cap is at $2.5 trillion, and it is up 2.5% for today. Bitcoin is currently at 63,949 as of this recording, and Ethereum is at 3,300. And over the past 24 hours, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 1.6%, and Ethereum is at 5.9%. And even over the week, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin, particularly because of what has occurred over Ethereum in the past couple of days. Another major coin, BNB, is up 1% over the past 24 hours, and Solana is at 5.2%. And coming down a little bit over here, we can see that overall, most of the coins over the past 24 hours are up from where they were 2 days ago, which is great for all of the holders. And we see that there are other coins that are doing a little bit better than the others, such as HBAR, but HBAR has seen a huge correction from its 18 or 19% high that it reached a few days prior. And we're seeing coins like Pepe is done very well in the past 7 days at 25.5%. Other things that stick out, Dog with Hat has actually not had a great week. It's down 10.5%, and Celestia, Bonk is also done incredibly well, as well as ZBEC Protocol. But just scrolling down, these are just the current performance of the top 100 coins. And jumping into a price chart of Bitcoin, we see that currently Bitcoin here is in this channel, and it looks to just be sort of consolidating. We have not seen a major downside move or a major upside move, which is positive because Bitcoin is able to stay still at these higher elevated prices. I believe that people who are buying are not willing to part with their coins as the halving just took place, and they feel like there is going to be more upside in the price of Bitcoin. But we have seen that some people are willing to take profit. Grayscale has been selling and offloading a lot of their coins, but it has been met by buying demand by the likes of Fidelity and BlackRock, which is why we have seen such a huge price run up over the past few months since the ETF was approved. And taking a look here, just using a measuring tool, Bitcoin, I'd say, is currently down about 13.5% from its all-time high, which is very positive because that means that most people, if not all, well, not all, but most people are in profit at these levels. And to continue holding and DCAing is going to be very beneficial. And we are only currently about 9 days removed from the halving. And so we know in Bitcoin's history, past history, halvings have been an indicator of future price run-ups, such as this one. We had a halving here, and the rest is history. I mean, this price chart just went absolutely vertical. Now, this double top was something that was not expected, but we still saw that post halving the price decided and went very parabolic. And also here in this price chart in the 2016 halving, we saw that price absolutely also went vertical and parabolic before having a massive correction the 18 months later. Also here in November 12th halving, price actually had something which looked more like um, a double top in a way, but we saw it reached we went very vertical here early and then corrected very hard and then went on to actually go even more parabolic and almost do 6 times what it did in the first run up. So, do I think that we could see that here in this cycle? Certainly. Am I expecting it? No, but I do know that there are institutions and bigger and larger macro players and things that are affecting the market now than ever. Jumping into the Ethereum price chart, we can also see something similar to what Bitcoin's doing. Ethereum is a little bit in a more downwards channel than Bitcoin and has seen a larger correction from its high of where we were at previously. It's currently down 19%, and Bitcoin was down 13.5%. So, but Ethereum has performed very well so far. Ethereum has not reached its all-time high as of yet, but I believe this is a normal occurrence. Usually, the first coin we end up seeing make new all-time highs is always Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the the leading indicator in the market of where the other coins or what they can or may not do. I do believe Ethereum is on its way to making an all-time high relatively soon. How soon? Cannot tell you, but if we do end up going out of this pattern here and breaking to the upside, I believe we could see a huge break of the all-time high, one that most people are not gonna be prepared for, but that is, it could also break down from here. So there's no guarantees. I do believe that Ethereum is more likely to go to the upside here, if anything. And also, I'd like to take a look at another cryptocurrency that goes by the name Solana that has been doing very well over the past year and is a popular coin by venture capitalists and Wall Street investors. This coin has been doing tremendously well. It went from about $14 last year to now $142. It has even outperformed Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it is one of the coins that has been seeing a lot of volume, and it also is in the top 5 of cryptocurrencies currently. Now, it has had a major pullback so far from where it was weeks prior or a month prior. We are down currently 32%, whereas Bitcoin is down 13% and Ethereum is down 20%. We're seeing that Solana is down 32%. But Solana has also made a tremendous run up since its lows of about $9 a year ago to now $143. It's about 1,452%, or 14 and a half times your money since the bottom. But a lot of trading in volume is happening on Solana, especially with altcoins. Here, there is on Dex Screener, Solana is the top volume chain currently, and there are an unlimited amount of coins that are being launched and traded on this chain currently. Now, most of these are just not coins that you may be wanting to hold on to long term. It's just more of a hot potato game. So if you are going to try and trade these things, then you need to keep in mind that you want to understand that this may be is a very risky and degenerate venture to be partaking in. And I would not recommend it. If you do want to get involved in something like this, I definitely think that you should definitely stick to just buying Solana and holding it, because it is more of you owning part of the casino while other people are gambling. You will just be holding ownership in the casino. And as we know, crypto is very risky, especially coins that are not Bitcoin or Ethereum. So you have to do your due diligence and know that basically whatever you are investing is basically gone from that point moving forward. And you have to know that most of these coins are not going to be doing well in the long term. But, just be safe out there and make sure that you are making, smarter and wiser investments. I do not want to see you guys losing any money in this market as we are heading into a bull market. So giving up the core tokens, in my opinion, is not a good idea. There are going to be tons and tons of opportunities leading in this bull market over the next 18 months. So don't feel like you're missing out on anything if you see a coin go up, 1,000% or something like that, and you feel the need to buy into something like that. There will always be more opportunities, in my opinion. But as I say, do your own research. This is not financial advice, but these are just some things that are currently happening in the market that are popular, and I want you to be informed about them. And now, next up, I want to go over this article that was posted with the tagline, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF snaps 71-day inflow streak, data show. Now, inflows have slowed this month, taking the wind out of the Bitcoin bull run. And here's some bullet points from the article. BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF did not draw any investor money on Wednesday, the first such instance since the fund's inception 3 months ago. Inflows have slowed this month, taking the wind out of the Bitcoin bull run. Further on, reading the article, BlackRock Spot Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund, which trades under the ticker IBIT on Nasdaq, fell out of favor on Wednesday. Preliminary data published by Farsight Investors showed, for the first time since going live on January 11th, the fund did not draw any investor money, snapping a 71-day inflow streak. 7 out of the other 10 funds allowed IBIT's lead. Fidelity's FBTC and the ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF ARKB registered inflows of 5.6 million and 4.2 million, respectively, while Grayscale's GBTC bled 130.4 million, leading to a new cumulative outflow of 120.6 million, the highest since April 17th. Spot ETFs debuted in the U.S. on January 11th with much fanfare, promising to pull billions of dollars in institutional money. To date, BlackRock's IBIT has alone amassed more than $15 billion, while the 11 funds taken together have registered a net inflow of over $12 billion. However, most inflows happen in the first quarter, and the uptake has slowed this month, taking the wind out of the Bitcoin bull run. Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency by market value, has traded primarily between 60,000 and 70,000 this month, CoinDesk data show, marking a weak follow-through to the first quarter's near 70% rally to record highs above 73,500. And here is just an illustration of the daily inflows and outflows of different ETFs. And kind of just understanding and looking at this, you can see here IBIT's inflows were 21.3 million, and the amount that they have been bringing in daily since April 8th up into April 24th. Today you saw here, it says IBIT had 0 inflows for the 24th of April, and BITB also had 0. So it was not just BlackRock, it was many funds. But BlackRock has been the largest of all of these, who have been amassing large amounts of Bitcoins over the past since the ETFs was launched. But overall, I don't believe that this is a massively bearish signal, because it doesn't mean that Bitcoin is not being purchased. It just means that Bitcoin is not being purchased through ETFs, which means maybe some people want to go directly to the likes or an app of like a Binance or Bitcoin and just buy that Bitcoin directly off the exchange and then send it to their wallet in their own cold storage so they can self-custody the coins themselves. Now, Maybe they are seeing some maybe trepidation in the markets, or there are some macro factors that might be leading to some scare of investors, or um, maybe they are just unsure of what is going to happen because of the halving, and we have not seen like a huge price increase following the halving. But nobody really knows. But we can see that the GBTC Grayscale is still selling their bitcoins, but I believe those coins are going to find buyers in a very short amount of time. Also, a recent article here published states that Bitcoin chops around 64K with Japanese yen's tumble, maybe signaling currency turmoil, analyst says. The yen's volatile episode may spread to other fiat currencies as U.S. rate cuts remain elusive amid sticky inflation, which could drive investors to gold and Bitcoin, Noel Akishin said in an interview. And here are just some bullet points from that article. The Japanese yen fell Friday to its weakest level against the US dollar since 1990. Bitcoin remained flat around 64,000 as some altcoins slid lower. Intervention may follow soon if yen devaluation continues, Leicher Capital's Quinn Thompson said. And now, continuing on to the article, cryptocurrencies widely known for their often volatile nature were a sea of calm Friday as the Japanese yens tumbled to a fresh 34-year low against the US dollar, left traditional market observers mulling over potential knock-on effects. Bitcoin continued its recent choppy action during the day within a tight range around 64,000, down 0.9% over the last 24 hours. The broad market fell slightly more with smart contract network tokens Solana, ICP, and decentralized exchange Uniswap declining 2 to 4%. The Japanese yen dove another 1.3% during the day, a huge move for a major currency to its weakest level against the US dollar since 1990 after the Bank of Japan held interest rates at near zero and didn't indicate much concern over the weakening currency. In the US, meanwhile, continuing solid economic growth and stubbornly high inflation are snuffing out hopes for perhaps any easing of monetary policy this year. Moves of this size and speed in currencies is not normal, so I expect some intervention or coordination fairly soon if it continues into the next few weeks, Quinn Thompson, founder of hedge fund Leicher Capital, told CoinDesk. The yen's devaluation didn't impact crypto markets yet, but this could change if the BOJ steps in to prop up the currency, Noel Atkinson, analyst and author of The Crypto is Macro Now reports, said in an email interview a possible intervention would mean the BOJ selling US dollar assets, US treasuries, to buy yen, and a weaker greenback could in theory help crypto prices, she added. Another form of intervention could arrive from U.S. policymakers deciding to inject liquidity to the markets, which could support risk assets such as cryptos, Leicher Thompson said. And that summarizes the article. There also is another read more section that says the key to reviving Bitcoin bull run is the U.S. Treasury's refunding announcement. Zooming out, Action forecasted that the currency turmoil won't stop with the yen, as a recent jump in U.S. yields following sticky inflation reports will put a strain on other currencies, perhaps forcing other central banks to take action. We could see a collective selling of U.S. Treasuries to raise cash to support local currencies, adding further upside pressure to U.S. yields while adding to inflationary pressures elsewhere, Atkinson said. This currency volatility and vulnerability could encourage more corporate and even sovereign holdings of hedges such as gold and Bitcoin. So, and that sums up that article. But quickly going over that, as we can see that this volatility and the Japanese yen tumbling is marking a possible sentiment change in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Because as if banks are to step into this market and they are to inject liquidity, we know that there will be more money flowing in the ecosystem, which means that there will see more activity and volume on chain, I believe, due to this action by the banks, central banks. Now, he also said here that U.S. Treasuries may be sold off to raise cash to support local currencies, but all this means to me is that central banks and governments will begin creating more fake money. And that will lead to more money being in the supply, and we know that will also lead to more of these sovereign wealth funds to go into things like commodities such as gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So overall, this is a very bullish news. It is not good if you are a saver in Japan of the Japanese yen, but as we have been taught throughout history and over time, savers are punished in fiat. This is why most people who are savers of fiat do not perform well over time, because the government and the Fed is going to always print more and more of this currency, devaluing the purchasing power of the consumers and also leading to more debt for the consumers. So it's almost like a double whammy to the consumers who are working for fiat, because unless you are buying assets, then it is a very bad outlook for you as an individual. And so, if you are not owning a home or you are not owning a large stock portfolio, a 401k, and you are just hanging on to dollars and cash, then you are not able to keep up with the inflation that is currently going on, because you have to make your money work for you in some kind of area of life so that you are not losing purchasing power. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely want to keep my purchasing power. I like to save money, and I don't want the value in purchasing of that to be devalued by the government, and I want to have a chance at being more sovereign as an individual and able to move freely about globally and even locally. And I know that having money, um, or something that can pay for me to go and do these things is a very vital part of our lives. And as we can see, the prices of those types of freedoms are costing more and more money, um, daily, in monthly, and yearly. So I think that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, while being volatile, are also the most greatest appreciating asset in human history, allowing those people who are saving in this asset class tremendous amounts of purchasing power that they would not have gotten elsewhere, as we know, because in cryptocurrencies, it is a permissionless payment network that we can all use, that was made for everybody on planet Earth, outside of government regulations and governments shutting off of our accounts for um, buying crypto or buying an Apple or something like that. Now, these are extreme cases, but these have happened to people, and there are stories of this happening to people. And I know there are bad actors in this space, but there's also bad actors in the banking space. But um, we should not allow that to lead to regulating the crypto space to the point where it suffocates and chokes off all of innovation that can take place. Because I feel the further and more expansion that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin overall see, the better mankind may be for it overall. And as we know, Bitcoin is very, very easy to transport and keep safe, whereas something like gold or commodities have to be stored in a very secure location, and it costs a lot of money because you have to not only build that location, but you have to also try and hide it, or hire guards, or pay other people to do all of that for you. And if you want to move large amounts of gold, it is very difficult to do as well. Trying to say like move $100 million worth of gold, you're gonna need a whole plane or something like that, and you're gonna need a truck to get it to the airport, and you're gonna have to hire security to do all of that. Whereas if you were to just have $100 million worth of Bitcoin on a ledger, or then you could just keep those seed phrases with you on a piece of paper or etched somewhere, um, and just send that instantly, faster than say 5 minutes for less than a $10 fee. Now the network has been congested at times, but you're not going to beat the price of teleportation. I would say to move value across all borders and permissionless. Now, coming back full circle, we saw that BlackRock has snapped its 71-day inflow streak, but we know that is not the end of the world, but it is something that we should take a look at and pay attention to. And also, we saw that the Japanese yen tumbling may be a bullish sign for markets overall and indicate that more money could be flowing into the crypto sector. Now, I hope that you guys found some of this information useful and informative, and you profit from it one way or the other. Thank you for watching this channel. Remember to click the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and also leave a comment, and make sure to click a like on that bell icon. And as always, I will come back with another one. And please be safe out there, and as always, keep calm and crypto.